me the collar's up and everything. The fucking collar's up. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. I've just walked in from work this morning. I won't lie to you, I'm stupidly sleep deprived after a gargantuan shift. A mid-shift yesterday, I thought to myself, the only thing that has a slither of a chance to put a smile on this face is if Sunderland get a result. And by result, I meant maybe snatch a draw, scrape a point, something like that. Little did I know, on the horizon was a last-second winner from jamsarny to give us 3 points at Stamford Bridge. Away the lads! So apologies in advance that this is likely going to be more of a nonsensical ramble, sprinkled with a little bit of childlike screaming as opposed to an actual match review, but deal with it. And not only that, Sunderland, newly promoted Sunderland, who come up via the playoffs, 24 points by the way, 24 points behind Leeds and Burnley. They won't let you forget that. They won't let you forget that. We're currently sat in second in the Premier League after 9 games. It's only 9 games, but we keep saying that. It's only 6 games, it's only 7 games, it's only 8 games. It's 9 games. And we're second in the Premier League. Come on! Don't get ahead of yourself now. Why are you getting ahead of yourself? Sit down. Sit down. But on a serious note, if you're going to hit 322 likes on this video for no reason, it's a random number, other than maybe the amount of brain cells you're all about to lose whilst watching this video, it'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new, and away the lads! But right, I'll try and remain somewhat professional going forward. I'm just buzzing, as I'm sure so many of you guys are as well, if you're a Sunderland fan. If you're a Chelsea fan, not so much. And maybe if you're a mag, mind the gap. But Sunderland did. I've still got my collar up. Who cares? Sunderland did get themselves 3 points yesterday at Stamford Bridge, and it was probably the most perfect away performance we could have possibly asked for, in that we went at them, but equally we defended so resolutely, and every single player on the pitch played their part. The energy levels didn't drop at any point. Not at any moment did I think, oh, he's not putting a shift in, he's not putting a shift in. Every single one of those players put a huge shift in. Nearly as much of a shift as I've just put in at work. But no, if you ever look at the lineup here on this side, I put it up for you. We've got Roofs, Hugh Mukiele, Ballard, Reinildo, Haytrowder starting as well, which I was so pleased to see. Xhaka, Siddiqui, Lafay, Traore, and Isidore as well. So we get into the game, and we can see there, it was that sort of 5 at the back system that I kind of wanted to see in the match preview, as I was saying in that video. But I also said in that video that it's not as defensive as it looks. It's not as sort of boring defensive sitting back as it looks. If you play it correctly, it can be a very fluid system, a dynamic system that can change depending where we are on the pitch, depending where the momentum is going or where it's heading. So for example, that 5 at the back, if the ball was being played or possession was being seen in the middle of the park, you'd see Troy Hume tuck in, or Haytrowder can step in and step forward, or if Mukiele wants to take a touch inside, or even Ballard, because even if a defender comes forward and brings us out from the back, we still have the 4 at the back that can sit in behind. And we saw that time and time again. Reinildo would tuck in, and it was brilliant. It was executed perfectly. And of course, against likes of Chelsea, you're going to concede possession. We're going to have to be thinking on our feet constantly. We're going to have to defend. And we limited them to so little throughout the entirety of the game. I can only really think of sort of 2 clear-cut chances, and one of them being the goal, or 2 really good chances and one of them being the goal. Because straight from the kickoff, we were going for it. Granted, it was only like 3.5 minutes, but we had them really pegged into their sort of final third, into their third. For the opening few minutes of the game, every time they were trying to play it out for the back. And I was saying in the preview, you need to pressure this Chelsea defence, because as good as they are going forward, that back line is shaky as all hell. And that proved to be the case. The press was immense. Of course, sometimes you need to drop off from the press, depending on what's going on in the game. But the press was immense. We saw Xhaka push up there, Isidore, wings are tucking and squeeze him out and force him into errors. And it was happening time and time again. And within 3 minutes, Ballard, which I'm surprised hasn't been shown on too many highlight reels for some reason, Ballard had a totally free header, really nicely worked free kick. Traore puts in a lovely ball, although there wasn't too much pace on it, meaning that Ballard, because he wasn't kind of onto his oncoming run, so he couldn't generate too much power on the header. We had 3 players at the back post, totally free, and it falls for Ballard, and he's tried to put it towards goal, but there's not enough power generated, and he's kind of headed it into the ground and straight to the keeper. But even if he just headed it back across goal, it could have easily gone in, but I just thought, geez, we've got a chance here. Then they went up the other end and scored. And like I said, going forward and on the break with Chelsea, they have the pace, they have the quality as well. As soon as they beat that press, that's the only time I ever thought we were in trouble. It only happened about 3 or 4 times throughout the game. But when they did beat that press and they got in sort of behind our sort of middle third, as soon as they got in between the lines there, that's when I was a bit worried when we were trying to play catch up from that press that we were doing so often. And Garnacho gets it on the left-hand side. Again, I mentioned in the preview, although I despise the man, I can't shy away from the quality he has. He's up one-on-one against Mukiele, a little step over, gets a yard away from him, drills it straight at Roofs. Now, Roofs has got a little bit of stick for this, and I know he should have done a hell of a lot better. You can see what's happened. You see his positioning. His positioning was perfect. It was fine. But he's done that sort of goalkeeper save and he kind of got down on one knee and then outstretched one leg to try and block it with your foot. But it's kind of hit the inside of his heel and trickled in, so it's gone straight through him, really. It's unfortunate. These things happen. He's still an outstanding goalkeeper. These things happen against Chelsea. And I did think to myself, I was seeing sort of, I was kind of reminiscing over the Manchester United game because, of course, as soon as they scored, I thought the floodgates were going to open. And it didn't. We went straight back at them. That meant the mindset that just didn't drop at all. And I use these words a lot. I think a lot of Sunderland YouTubers use these words a lot. But the sort of the drive, the passion, the will, the want, the desire, it never faltered. It didn't stop. The energy levels from Siddiqui, Xhaka, well, a lot of them. I could go through all the 11 every time I say that. But they just weren't stopping. They were so persistent and didn't allow them to play their game. And it actually came from a throw-in, these famous long throw-ins that are back in fashion now. Mukiele throws a long ball in, causes a bit of chaos. I think it was Traore that gets a bit of a swing of the ball, and it sort of bobbles through a crowd, and then Easter pokes it home to make it 1-1. And that first half, I think, were brilliant. Even for the neutral, it was fantastic. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people look at stats and go, oh, well, he got battered. Possession don't mean shit, because even going into the second half, we knew there were going to be large periods of them having possession. But there's a difference between being dominated and also dominating the game without possession. And I think that's what we did, because they played so much of the ball in front of us. But if you look at our tight-knit unit at the back, that one player would come out and press, another would tuck behind, and then if we get pushed over to the other side of the field, they'll tuck in, they'll press over. And it was just this well-oiled machine that just wasn't allowing them a sniff. I think they had one chance where Garnacho, they put a ball in the box, found Garnacho at the back post, and he's hit it on a sort of half volley, and it's hit Roofs, and he's managed to get it away. Good save, got himself behind the ball without knowing too much about it, admittedly. But other than that, they had nothing. We limited them to long-range efforts. There was a couple of efforts, I think, Caicedo, he had an effort, it was deflected and went over the bar. But that's what we limited them to. Absolutely nothing defensively, with Barb, Mukiele, Hirtrauda being his first start for us as well. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Of course, we had to weather the storm of possession, but again, we didn't allow them anything. 73% of possession or whatever it is, it doesn't tell the full story. We were absolutely phenomenal. Now, towards the back end of the game, we started to ring the changes. Talby, come on. Rig, come on. Brobby, come on. And this was some of the best number 9 play I've seen in a very, very long time. It's something that I've screamed out for years. If you've watched me on this channel for a while, I always scream out for an outlet of when you can hoof the ball upfield, the ball sticks to a player, and it might not be pretty, but you just hold at the ball, hold it up, kill a bit of time, allow our players to come forward to bring him into the game. We've never had that outlet in years properly, apart from that Niall Quinn, maybe. But this was phenomenal play. So they're on the attack. They're throwing everything at it, the dying moments of the game, the dying embers of the game. And Hirtrauda steps out of the box, punts it forward, has a bit of backspin on it. So I think he might have actually done that on purpose. At least I'm going to give him credit for that, because it kind of floated in the air and it wasn't just sailing straight through. Sends Brobby in behind. Now, I think 999 out of 1,000 strikers would have struck this ball as soon as it dropped for him. And it looked like it was going to. And I've seen clips of sort of fan footage behind the goal of this happening. And you got fans screaming, just saying, shoot, shoot. And he holds up the ball. He's got 2 Chelsea players behind him. He's got his hand there. No one's getting around Brian Brobby. He's a fucking unit. He's an absolute unit. No one's getting around him. He's holding him off. Fans are saying, shoot. You've wasted your opportunity. He's screaming. He knows what he's doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was holding it up, and it was strange. It felt like the game had come to a standstill, and then all of a sudden there's an onrush of Sunderland players coming to help out, coming to assist, and Brian Brobby. They're beating all the Chelsea players back because the will, the want, the desire, the passion was there to get there first. And then Talby manages to make his run to the edge of the box, or just inside the box. He rolls it to Talby, and he rolls it equally as beautifully into that bottom right-hand corner to put Sunderland in dreamland. 2-1, an absolutely outstanding, perfect away day game. I think I did quite well there, given that I'm incredibly excited. But yeah, it was absolutely outstanding. I was just so proud of these lads. You know, I don't think we've had a better start. I think I saw a start. We haven't had a better start to a Premier League season since the 99 season with Peter Reid, where I think we had 17 points by this stage as well. Other than that, this is the best we've had so far. It's an incredible achievement, but equally, I keep on saying, it is only 9 games. So stop getting ahead of yourselves. I'm sick of it. I keep on telling you. But no, you need to celebrate these moments. This is what we've lived through. Aki Stanley away. We've lived through that horrible scoring goal music from Fleetwood Town. Glenn Loovens. We've been through it all. So these times you need to celebrate. But equally, when we get closer to that Everton game, focus turns to that. Still, for me, the goal is to stay in the Premier League. Hopefully we get to that sort of 40-point mark as soon as humanly possible. It looks like we're heading there on a direct route somehow. But it is only 9 games. Things can happen. There's going to be a difficult stage in the season. It's just how this team are going to react. And at the moment, I'm looking at this team. Win, lose or draw, you can't fault the effort that they're all putting in. And I think that Manchester United game was such a lesson. And that's the thing. We're going to get different scenarios, as Regis likes to say, different experiences this season. And a lot of them could be negative or can be negative, or they may be negative at the time. But they are going to be huge lessons learned. And that is what I think they took into this game, you know, against Manchester United. Massive club, huge club, global brand of a club. Chelsea, the World Club Cup champions, whatever it is, mate. We're the world champions now, apparently. But yeah, we learned from that, the way we approached the game, and we conceded early then, and then we just collapsed. Whereas this one, we just remained so focused and structured in the way that we were. And I'm just so proud of the lads. I could give a man of the match to so many players. Ballard, Mukiele, Haterauder, Xhaka didn't stop. He was outstanding. Siddiqui, Jesus, I know I always say that he just runs around, not aimlessly, but he just covers so much grass, doesn't he? The graft in that lad was phenomenal. Lefay, Talby, Isidore, all of him. I'm just naming the 11 again. I can't give a man of the match. The Sunderland squad get man of the match. I think that's fair. I'm going to leave it there, guys, because this is just bollocks. This is nonsense, isn't it? But hit the like button for me. Let's try and hit 322, eh? Let's try and hit 322. Again, no idea why I'm going for that. But either way, subscribe if you are new. It'd be so appreciated. We're trying to hit 20,000 come the end of the season. Hopefully you see more nonsensical bollocks like this as the season goes on. But for now, I'll leave you there. However, lads, keep the faith.